स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of the science of worship. So now we shall revise a little of the earlier Surya Arghya Pradhana. So I'll just go on taking you through that in a fast way. Surya Arghya Pradhana, offering of Arghya to the sun. Take some water, a red flower, hibiscus preferably touched with red sandal paste, japa kusma, and durva grass in a kushi, the small spoon which we are using, the copper spoon. Then lifting the kushi with both hands to the level of the forehead. I had shown you last time how to do that. We have to chant the mantra Om Namo Vivasvate Brahman Bhasvate Vishnu Tejase Jagat Savitre Shuchaye Savitre Karmadayine. So that is the mantra. Then we give that Surya Arghya saying Om Esha Arghya Om Shri Suryaya Namaha. Offer the flower etc. at the Tamrakunda, the copper vessel. Then offer Pranam with folded hands saying the mantra of Surya Pranama Om Japa Kusuma Sankasham Kashyapiyam Mahadyutim Dvantarim Sarvapapagnam Pranatosmi Divakaram. So after that the Surya Arghya is over. Now today's the puja step is Shri Guru Adi Puja. Guru Adi Puja. So there are so many deities. We start with the puja of the Guru, then we will worship all the other different deities. That's why the name of the step, this step is Shri Guru Adi Puja. It becomes Shri Guru Adi Puja. Worship of the Guru, Ganesha, etc. So now we will start with that. The first thing has to be loaded. Now it is not the continued, the one which is the first one has to be loaded. Yeah, that one. Shri Guru Adi, worship of the Gurus. Now, how to do this Guru Adi Puja? With a flower smeared with sandal paste. Worship at the Tamrakunda. So Tamrakunda means the copper vessel placed on a tripod. We keep either Baneshwar Linga or we keep the Saligrama, whatever the symbol of worship in which we invoke the deity we are going to worship. So that copper vessel in which we are going to offer the worship is called Tamrakunda, the copper vessel. So the flower smeared with sandal paste, worship at the Tamrakunda copper vessel for worship, uttering the mantra. So as I told you earlier, we are smearing or touching it with sandal paste to show that we are giving with devotion. Everything is offered with devotion, that is indicative of the devotion. So with the flower smeared with sandal paste, worship the Tamrakunda saying. Now the first thing which we have to, the first God we have to worship is Guru, our Guru. So the Guru who has initiated you into Mantra Diksha or any spiritual path is called the Guru. So you have to remember your own Guru who has given you Mantra Diksha. Take this flower dipped or smeared with sandal paste and then offer it at the Tamrakunda with the mantra. How is the Guru to be worshipped? Om Aim Ete Gandha Pushpe Shri Gurave Namaha. Telling this mantra, when you are about to tell Namaha, first you have to hold the flower. Take the flower in this way, this mantra. Touch it with the sandal paste. If you have both the white and red sandal paste, well and good. Otherwise, if you have only white sandal paste, oh, it's sandal paste. So you touch it, dip it with the sandal paste, indicative of you are giving that with devotion. and then offer. So while you tell Namaha, that word, just while you are telling that, you have to place the flower very carefully at the Tamrakunda. Should not throw, should not be very rough, softly you have to keep it there. So now I will repeat that mantra again. You can also repeat it after me. Om, Om, Ete. So since it is Guru, the Guru's Bija mantra or the Bija mantra for the pure consciousness, or even while telling to Shiva also, we give that Aim. To Ramakrishna also, to Guru, we use that Bija mantra Aim, which indicates the Bija mantra, seed mantra of pure consciousness. So we have to add, because we are giving it to Guru, Aim. So that Bija mantra you can see there, it is given. The first mantra, Om, Aim, Om, Aim, Ete, Gandha Pushpe, Shri Gurave, Namaha. So this is the mantra. I think you have learned to chant it. I will repeat it again. Om, Aim, Ete, Gandha Pushpe, Shri Gurave, Namaha. So as I told you, Om should be added to every mantra, then only it is complete. Aim is the Bija mantra of the Guru. Then Ete means these two. What is that? Gandha and Pushpa. So it is in Dvivachana. As I told you in Sanskrit, there is the Ekavachana, singular. Dvivachana means anything if there are two in number. Then Bahuvachana means above two, more than two, and all others, three and above, is called Bahuvachana. So since they have the Dvivachana also, that's why Ete means two. What are those? Gandha and Pushpa. That's why again Dvivachana has come, Pushpe. It is not Pushpa. Pushpe means Dvivachana. Om, Aim, Ete, these two, Gandha and Pushpa, Shri Gurave Namaha. I am offering, giving it to Guru. So when that fourth case, Gurave, is the fourth case, where we tell the meaning goes to the Guru. That's why it is Gurave. Many people tell that as Guruve because the word is Guru. In this Sanskrit, when we are declining that, just like Rama Shabdaha, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, 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 Ramo, Raman, Ramain, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, Ramasya, like that when we are declining it. So Guru in the fourth case becomes Gurave. You should not tell Guruve, that is wrong. Guruve is wrong. So it is Gurave Namaha. Even in the mantra we will be repeating Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guruhu Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Many people I have heard them uttering Guruve Namaha. That is wrong. You have to correct yourself. The fourth case is Gurave, meaning to the Guru. Gurave. So I'll repeat that mantra again. Om, Aim, Ete, Gandha Pushpe, Shri Gurave Namaha. So while you are uttering Namaha, the flower is to be offered at the Tamrakunda. That with the Namaha you have to place it. Not earlier before, not too late. While you are telling Namaha, you have to place it. Okay. Now the second deity who have to worship is Ganesha Prathama. So the Ganesha is to be worshipped now amongst the deities. So what is the mantra? Om Gam. The Bija mantra of Ganesha is Gam. Ete Gandha Pushpe Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Gam Ete Gandha Pushpe Ganeshaya Namaha. So now I have heard many people telling instead of Ganesha they pronounce it as Ganesha. It is not Ganesha. You should never utter it as Ganesha. It is Ganesha. So in that fourth case it becomes Ganeshaya means to Ganesha. So again I will tell you, it is not Ganesha. You should never tell Ge. It is Ga. Ganesha. Ganeshaya means to Lord Ganesha. So that is the correct pronunciation. I will make you repeat it again now. Om, Om, Gam, Gam, Ete, Ete, Gandhapushpe, Gandhapushpe, Ganeshaya Namaha. Ganeshaya Namaha. You can see on some of the letters we have put some indications like on Om Gam. So you can see on the top of Yam we have put one dot, meaning it is nasal sound. Om Gang. It should stay in the nose. So when it is pronounced with the other words together with that, if you cut it, then you have to make it as gum. Stop it. When you are going to touch or pronounce with those simultaneously to the next word, Om Ete, Om Gam, Om Gang, Gang, Ete, and the Pushpe. So the nasal sound, or what is the Vyanjana, the consonant next word, that Varga, if it is a Vargiya Vyanjana, that particular Anunasika is to be told. So either it has to be pronounced as Gang, nasal sound, or Gum. So Om Gam Ete, I have told you it is Dvivachana, Gandha Pushpa again Dvivachana. Now on E and E again, E-T-E, we have written two lines. What is that indication indicating? As I told you, in every swara or vowels, we have two types of vowels. If you utter that with 1 unit of time, which is called as matra, there is 1 matra time. 1 unit of time in Sanskrit grammar is called matra. So 1 unit of time if it is uttered, then it becomes hrasva. If we take time 2 unit of time to utter it, chant it, it is called dirgha. Suppose we take more than 2 unit of time, 3 and more, it becomes pluta. So consonants have these 3 varieties, hrasva, dirgha and pluta, based on the unit of time we take to chant it. So 1 unit of time, hrasva. 2 unit of time, it is dirgha. 3 and more unit of time, it is pluta. So now this is wherever we put that line on the top, that is dirgha, 2 unit of time. If that is nothing, then it is 1 unit of time. Suppose in between 2 letters or something in between we have a sign of yes. So then it is pluta. It is elongated little more. So when you are uttering this a, te, that's why I drag it, I tell with swara just like music. Om, Aim, Ete. So I do that elongation or dirgha because it is to be elongated 2 units of time. Om, Aim, Ete, Gandha, Pushpe. So that PE, there is one sign, it is elongated or dirgha. Other things I am not elongated. Gandha, Push up to Pa. Then Pe, I elongate it because it is dirgha. Gandha, Pushpe. Now Shri, it is not Hraswa, Shri. So I is elongated, you can put that, you can see that dirgha on the I. Shri, then Gu, Ra, Ve, Ve is elongated, dirgha. That's why Gurave, Namaha. Namaha, there is no elongation, dirgha, Namaha. So sometimes the exact pronunciation of Visarga is Namah, half, it has to stop, it is half uttered. But it is very difficult to do that, utter half. So we completely telling Namaha. In some portion, if you go to North India, they pronounce it as Namah. So some people in South India, they do it Namaha. So it is up to you. It has to be pronounced as half letter Namah. So it is difficult to do that. You can go a little forward, Namaha. That's all. So Om, Aim, Ete, Gandha Pushpe, Shri, Gurave, Namaha. Now in this Ganesha, it is Gang or Gum. If you stop there and then go to the next letter, you have to do it Gum. Or else if you are continuing, then Gang, nasal sound. Om, Gang, Ete, Gandha Pushpe, Gane. See there, Ana, there is G-A-N. Under that N we have put a dot. meaning it is not the regular N, it is the next Na. Now in the consonants in Sanskrit we have Kakha, Gagha, Nga, Cha, Cha, Ja, Jha, Nya, Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Na. So that one, Na. Ta, Ta, Da, Dha, Na. Na is difference, Na is different. So it is just like when you write the word U-N-D-E-R, you tell under. So that Na is here. Then the otherwise, the Ta, Tha, Da, Da, Na is nasal, N-A-S-A-L, nasal Na. So under is Na. So Krishna, Karna. Then here Gana. So you have to pronounce just not Gana. It is Gana. Gana. The tongue should touch the Murdhanya, palate. So that is it is not even Gene. It is Ganeshaya. Ganeshaya Namaha. Ganeshaya Namaha. Now next, the mantra we are worshipping the deity is Shiva. So we shall learn how to, we will chant it. Om Namaha Shivaya or Om Namah Shivaya. Ete Gandha Pushpe Shivaya Namaha. So fourth case of Shiva is Shivaya, that is to Shiva. So this Gandha and Pushpa are offered to Lord Shiva. That is the meaning of it. So the pronunciation, we can pronounce it Om Namah Shivaya. Please repeat it. Om Namah Shivaya. Ete Gandha Pushpe Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. So we have worshipped Shiva. While you tell Namaha, you have to put that flower besmeared with sandal paste. Just before telling Namaha, you have to put it there. Very gently and in a devoted way. Please do not throw it like this. Om, the next worship we are doing to Lord Surya. So Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Shri Suryaya Namaha. The fourth case of Surya is Suryaya, to Surya. So I shall repeat that mantra. After that you can repeat it after me. You can learn it. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Shri Suryaya Namaha. So Su is the Dirgha, Sur. Ya. So again Ya is Dirgha. The second Ya is not Dirgha, Hrasva. Suryaya Namaha. Now we shall go to the next worship to the deity Narayana. So now we shall learn how to chant it. First I will tell you, you can hear. Then you can also chant it. Om Namo Narayanaya Ete Gandha Pushpe Narayanaya Namaha. Now we shall chant it. You please chant it after me. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Ete Gandha Pushpe Narayanaya Namaha. Now here in South Africa they make the mistake of Om Namo Narayanaya. Nara, Hrasva, if you tell Nara, it is human being. Human beings are called Nara. So it is not human beings we are worshipping here. It is Narayana. So while pronouncing it should be Narayanaya, not Narayanaya. So please don't make the mistake of telling Narayanaya. It is not Narayanaya. It is Narayanaya. It is Dirgha. Na-ra-ya-na-ya. So again, another speciality we have to notice it. Na is that Tatadadana. Ra, Naraya. Then another Na is Tatadadana. That's why underneath that N we have put the dot. So that is the difference between the pronunciation. You should not tell Narayanaya. It is Narayanaya. Na. So that is the pronunciation. We shall now chant it. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Ete Gandhapushpe Narayanaaya Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya. Ete Gandhapushpe Narayanaya Namaha. So Narayana is the fourth case. Narayanaya. The word Narayana, when you have to use it in the fourth case to Narayana, it becomes Narayanaya. So the Gandha Pushpa is offered to Lord Narayana. That is the meaning. So we worship Narayana. As soon as you tell Narayana, you put the flower at the Tamrakunda, at the symbol of worship. Now we are going to now worship Mother Durga. So what is the mantra? How are we to chant it? I will first chant that and then make you also chant. Om Hreem Ete Gandha Pushpe Jaya Durgayai Namaha. So we shall see how to chant it. Om Hreem. If you stop that chanting Hreem, then it is Ma should be ended by Ma. That is the grammatical rule. If you don't stop, you go forward with the chanting, then you have to Om Hreem. Nasal sound. It should stay in the nose. Hreem. Om. And also you see it is elongated. Dirgha. Hreem or Hreem. It should not end with G also. Hreem. That's all. Om Hreem Ete Gandha Pushpe Jaya Durgayai Namaha Namaha. See, for the Pullinga, that is the masculine gender, the fourth case will be Narayanaya, Shivaya, Suryaya. So like that. For Guru it changes as Gurave. But here for Strilinga, feminine gender, it will not be the same. The fourth case will be differing. How is it differing? Durga Yai. So it is Yai. So that is the masculine gender fourth case. I'm sorry, it is not masculine gender. Feminine gender fourth case. Durga Yai, Saraswatyai, Sharadayai. All the Yai, it comes because of the fourth case feminine gender. So when it was the masculine fourth case is Shivaya, Ganeshaya, Narayanaya. But the feminine fourth case is Durgayai, Sharadayai, that is feminine. Saraswatyai, so it is Yai. Some people chant it as Y. It is not Y, it is Yai. Okay, I will again teach it slowly. You can also chant it after me. Om Hreem Ete Gandha Pushpe Jaya Durgayai Namaha Namaha. Yai. So Jaya Durgayai. Okay, Jaya Durgayai Namaha. So we have worshipped Mother Durga with the flower touched with sandal paste. So with the mantra. Hreem is the Shakti mantra for the Divine Mother. So that Bija mantra has been uttered. Now we are going to worship the next deity is Agni, the fire god. So I shall utter the mantra and then make you also utter the mantra. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Agnaye Namaha. Agnaye. That is the fourth case. Masculine gender. Agnaye. Okay. Now we shall chant it. I will make you chant it. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Agnaye Namaha. Agnaye means to Agni. So now we have finished the worship of Lord Agni. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Agnaye Namaha. Now we are going to the next worship of the 9 planets. The 9 planets are worshipped. So how the mantra is to be told? First I will chant it and then make you also chant in the next step. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Adityadi Navagrahebhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Adityadi Navagrahebhyo Namaha. So now Om. You can repeat it now. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Adityadi Navagrahebhyo Namaha. Together, Om Ete Gandhapushpe Adityadi Navagrahebhyo Namaha. What is the meaning? This flower smeared with sandal paste. Adityadi. Aditya means sun. Adi means all others. Who are all the others? There are 9 planets. So all the other 8 planets, including Aditya, it becomes 9 planets. So Aditya Adi Navagrahebhyo, all the 9 planets. I am giving this flower. I am offering this flower. Nava means 9. Graha means planets. Grahebhyo means 4th class. Bahuvachana, that is plural. Plural, then it is 4th case. Navagrahebhyo means to all the 9 planets. That is the meaning Navagrahebhyo Namaha. So now Aditya, it starts with Aditya. Aditya is another name for sun. So all the 9 planets. So I will tell you the name of all the 9 planets. Aditya is Surya, sun. Then the next planet is Chandra, the moon. Then the third planet is Mangala. What is Mangala equivalent in English? Mars. Then the next planet, the fourth planet is Buddha. What is equivalent in English? Mercury. Buddha is Mercury. Then the fifth planet is Brihaspati or Guru. Brihaspati or Guru Graha. That's why the name we get Guruvara or Brihaspati Vara. That week is named after him. Monday is named after the moon. So that's why it is moon day or Monday. In Sanskrit it is Somavasara, Somavara. Soma means moon. Then the second one is Mangalavara. So there is same thing. Mangala is Mars. So that Mangalavara is Tuesday. Then Buddha, Wednesday. Buddhavara, Mercury day. Buddhavara. That's why next is Guruvara. That is Brihaspati Vara is Jupiter's day. Thursday. Then the next planet after Brihaspati, the fifth planet Jupiter is, the sixth one is Shukra. That's why that week is called Shukravara or Friday. And what is the equivalent planet in English? Venus. Shukra planet is named as Venus in English. Shukravara. Shukra, Venus. What is the seventh planet? Shanivara. Shani is Saturn. In English it's called Saturn. So that's why Saturday is called Saturday because of the planet Saturn. So that in Sanskrit it is called Shanivara. The planet is Shani. It gets the name Shani, Shanaishcharaha. We should not call Shanishwara. It is Shanaishcharaha, meaning he moves from one house to another house slowly. Very slow. Shanaihi charaha is Shanaishchara. So that is the seventh planet. Then the eighth planet is Rahu. Eighth planet is Rahu. The ninth planet is Ketu. So these are the 9 planets. So Adityadi Nava Grahebhyo Namaha means we are offering this flower touched with sandal paste to all these 9 planets. What are the 9 planets? Surya, that is sun. Chandra, that is moon. Mangala, that is Mars. Buddha, Mercury. Brihaspati or Guru, Jupiter. Shukra, Venus. Shani, Saturn. Rahu and Ketu. These are the 9 planets. So when you tell Navagrahebhyo to all these 9 planets, starting with Aditya, Surya. That is the meaning of the mantra. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Adityadi Navagrahebhyo Namaha. Aditya Adi Navagrahebhyo Namaha. So we have worshipped up till these 9 planets. We'll go to the next slide. Their other deities are also worshipped in this. Now we are going to the next slide. So now in the next slide, we have the worship of Indra Adi Dashadikpalebhyo Namaha. So now we shall first learn to chant the mantra, and then we will go to see the details about who are the Dashadikpalaha. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Indradi Dashadikpalebhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Indradi Dashadikpalebhyo Namaha. I will make you chant. You can also now chant the mantra after me. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo Namaha. So that is together one word, Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo, because it will be difficult for you. I have broken it according to the meaning only. So Dasha, Indradi means Indra Adi. Just like earlier we did that Aditya Adi, because there are 9 planets, and here Dasha Dikpala. Dikpala means those who are guarding the Dik directions, 10 directions. So Indra is the first one, so the name of Indra is mentioned, Indra Adi. All the other 10, the guardian angels of all the directions, for guarding that directions. So first we should know what are the 10 directions. So what are the 10 directions? We know only important 4 directions: north, east, west, south. So I think in some of the earlier slides I had given all the 10 direction. So it will be generally 8 direction at the linear plane: north, then east, west, south. North, south, opposite direction; east, west. In between north and east, there is in between that direction called northeast. Then again east and south, there is between the direction southeast, that east, and between the south, so that is southeast. Then between the south and the west, it's a southwest. Then between the north and west, it is the northwest. So this way, how many directions we have? 8 direction at the linear plane. Now other than that, we have 2 more directions. What are they? Up and below. So all these 8 direction, northeast, west, south, then northeast, southwest, and all those things, 8 directions at the linear plane like this. Then above, up is upari, adaha. These are the 2 directions. Now it has become 3-dimensional. So all these together are called 10 directions. So all that, each of the 10 direction has one guardian angel. They are called Dikpala. So Dasha Dikpalebhyo means to all the 10 guardian angels who are guarding the 10 directions. So to them I am offering these flowers. That is the meaning. So now we have to know who are the 10. We have come to know what are the 10 directions. Now we will see what are the 10 deities, just like 9 Navagraha, 10 directions, the deities, Dikpalas. What are those gods? We came to know what are the directions. Now the guardian deities of all these directions, I am going to tell their name. What are they? The first one is Indra. That's why it started with Indra Adi. Just like Aditya Adi, Navagrahebhyo Namaha. Here too, the first name is Indra Adi. So that's why we have put that Indra Adi Dashadikpalebhyo Namaha. Dasha means 10. Dikpala means guardian angels, the guarding that direction. Pala means one who guards. Palebhyo, all that because it is in Bahuvachana, that is plural. 4th case, Namaha, I am going to offer it. So now, what are the 10 other than Indra? So we have first mentioned is Indra Adi. What are the other 9? Yeah, I am going to tell. Indra is the first deity. Then it is Agni. the fire god. Then Yama. Yama is the god of death, the god of Pitruloka. Now the Pitru Paksha is going on. So now the Pitrus, the ancestors god is Yama. So Yama, after that it is Niruriti. Niruriti. Then that is who is guarding the Nairutya. Yama is of the south. Then that's why it's called Agni, Agneya. Then we have the Varuna, another direction. Then it is Vayu, Vayavya direction is Vayu. Then other deities Soma. Then it is Ishana. So that direction is called Ishanya, Ishana. Then another deity is Brahma. Then Ananta. So these are the 10 Dikpalas, guardian angels or guardian deities of 10 directions. I will repeat the name again. First one is Indra, Agni, Yama, Niruriti, Varuna, Vayu, Soma, Ishana, Brahma, Ananta. So these are the 10 Dikpalakas. So now I will make you chant it. The same mantra I am going to make you chant it again. Om Ete Gandhapushpe. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo Namaha. How to pronounce it together? Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo. Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo. We shall chant it again because it's a little difficult. Om Ete Gandhapushpe. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo Namaha. Together, Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo Namaha. Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo Namaha. So together, whole thing we can chant it as Om Ete Gandhapushpe Indradi Dashadik Palebhyo Namaha. So now the next thing is the 10 Mahavidyas. Dasha is 10. Then Mahavidyas. So these are the 10 Mahavidyas. So the first deity which is represented is 10 in the 10 Dasha Mahavidyas. You can see it is Kali. Kali is the first deity. That's why it is Kalyadi. Just like Adityadi. Then we had the earlier one Indradi. Likewise, Kali Adi. Mother Kali, Divine Mother Kali. So what are the other thing next is Dasha, 10, Mahavidya. They are called Vidyas. Mahavidya, Vidyabhyo means here the Bahuvachana, plural. Fourth case, Vidyabhyo Namaha. Kalyadi Dasha Mahavidyabhyo Namaha. So what are the 10 Dasha Mahavidyas? The 10 Dasha Mahavidyas are, 10 Mahavidyas are, starting with, we have told that it is Mother Kali. Then it is, next is Tara. The second Mahavidya is Tara. Then Tripura Sundari. Tripura Sundari is the third, or you can call Tripura Sundari also Shodashi. Tripura Sundari. Then after Kali, Tara, Tripura Sundari or Shodashi, that is we have finished 3. The fourth one is Bhuvaneshwari. Then it is Bhairavi, Tripura Bhairavi. Next one is Chinnamasta. Then Dhumavati, Bagalamukhi, Matangi, and Kamala. These are the 10. So now I will repeat it again. Kali 1, Tara 2, Tripura Sundari or Shodashi 3, Bhuvaneshwari 4, Tripura Bhairavi 5, Chinnamasta 6, Dhumavati 7, Bhagalamukhi 8, it's not Bhagala, it is Bagala. Bagalamukhi 8, Matangi 9, and Kamala 10. So all the 10 Dasha Mahavidya's name, I have noted it, I have told it to you. So now we will go to see how to chant it. Now, Om Ete Gandhapushpe Kalyadi Dashamaha Vidyabhyo Namaha. Now we shall chant it little by little because this is also little difficult to chant. The other things are common, Om Ete Gandhapushpe, but Kalyadi Dashamaha Vidyabhyo Namaha, to chant that together it will be difficult. So I will be breaking it into smaller pieces and make you chant too. Om Ete Gandhapushpe, Om Ete Gandhapushpe, Kalyadi Dasha Mahavidyabhyo Namaha. Again, Kalyadi Dasha Mahavidyabhyo Namaha. Kalyadi Dasha Mahavidyabhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Kalyadi Dasha Mahavidyabhyo Namaha. Kali and other 10 Mahavidyas, I am offering this flower besmeared with sandal paste. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Kalyadi Dasha Mahavidyabhyo Namaha. So the next thing we have to worship is Om Ete Gandhapushpe Matsyadi Dashavatarabhyo Namaha. There are 10 avatars. The first one is Matsya. Matsya means the fish avatara. So Adi, other 10. What are the other 9 other than Matsya? So the Dasha Avatara. So I am going to tell you what are the 10 avatars. The first one is Matsya. We all know that. So then after that we get the next thing is Kurma. After the Matsya, it is the Kurma. What is meant by Kurma? So Kurma Avatara is the tortoise. Lord Vishnu or Narayana took all these 10 avatars. Matsya Avatara, he took the fish Avatara. Then Kurma, that is the tortoise. Then the next is Varaha. Varaha Avatara means he took the form of avatar of wild boar to kill Hiranyaksha. So then Narasimha, the lion man, Narasimha, he took that form to protect Prahalada from Hiranyakashipu. He killed Hiranyakashipu in the form of lion man, Narasimha. So that is the next avatara. After that it is the dwarf avatara, Vamana. Then it is Parusharama. Then it is Lord Rama. Then it is Krishna. Then it is Buddha. Then the future is Kalki. So these are the 10 Dasha Avatara. I will repeat all the 10 avatars. First, that's why it's told Matsya Adi Dasha Avatarebhyo Namaha. So what are the 10 together? First is the Matsya, then it is Kurma, then it is Varaha, then it is Narasimha, then it is Vamana, then it is Parashurama. Sorry, I did the mistake. Parashu means that axe, is holding the axe. That's why it's called Parashurama. The other next avatar is Rama. Kodandarama is holding the bow and arrow. That's why it's Kodandarama or just Rama, Ramachandra. So his name was also Rama. That's why he is identified with that Parashu. Parashu means that axe he was wielding. So Parashurama, then it is Ramachandra, then it is Krishna, then it is Buddha, then in the Kali Yuga it is Kalki avatar. So these are the 10 avatars of Vishnu or Narayana. So now we shall try to chant that mantra. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Matsyadi Dashavatarevbhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Matsyadi Dashavatarevbhyo Namaha. Matsyadi Dashavatarevbhyo Namaha. Together, Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Matsyadi Dashavatarevbhyo Namaha. So now we have given the flower to all the 10 Dashavatara. Then we are going to the next, that is Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. Sarvebhyo, all the male gods. Devebhyo, we know there are 330 million gods and goddesses. So now you can't go on giving flowers to all the 333 million gods and goddesses. So now the important deities are over. Now the rest of the deities we will give it in a general way. So how is it given? Sarvebhyo means it is the Pullinga or masculine form. Devebhyo, all the gods, male gods. Namaha. Then the next is Sarvabhyo, that is a female, feminine. Then plural, then it is fourth case. Sarvabhyo Devibhyo means all the female goddesses. The flower is offered to all the female goddesses. The first one is Sarvabhyo Devebhyo. Sarvebhyo Devebhyo is all the gods, male gods. Sarvabhyo Devibhyo is female gods, goddesses. So now we will learn how to tell that mantra for the male gods. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. That is all the male gods. Then how to give to all the female goddesses? Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Sarvabhyo Devibhyo Namaha. Sarvabhyo Devibhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Sarvabhyo Devibhyo Namaha. So we will go to the next deity. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Akaradi Panchashat Varnebhyo Namaha. Earlier in the Matrukanyasa we have learnt, also in the Bhuta Shuddhi we learnt that from the Om, all the letters, alphabets, 50 letters in Sanskrit, they come from that. They represent each deity, one deity. One letter is nothing but they have directly come from the sound Om. So it is representing Mother Saraswati. So there are different deities to each letters. They represent consciousness, pure consciousness. What is the this thing called as Matrika Varna? So it is derived from the Divine Mother Saraswati. So it is Matrika Varna. All the alphabets, they represent different deities. We did the Nyasa in different parts of the body, limbs, and that's called Karanyasa, then Anganyasa. So we consecrated all those letters and the deities which represent that letters. So in all our different bodies in Karanyasa and Anganyasa. So that Aksharas. So you know that word is called Akshara. Kshara means which get destroyed. Akshara means which doesn't get destroyed. It is always there, Shashvata, eternal. So it is identified with God, Om. That's why we are worshipping them. What are they? Akaradi. It starts with akara, vowels, a, e, all the vowels, 14. Then 25 consonants, that is the Vargiya, grouped, classified consonants, then consonants, then unclassified, Avargiya Vyanjana. So all that together form 50 vowels, consonants, the classified one and the unclassified one, Vargiya Vyanjana and Avargiya Vyanjana, together it is 50 letters, alphabets. So that is Matrika Varna. So now we are offering that because it represents all the letters in Sanskrit, they represent one deity. So we are worshipping all those deities with this mantra. So how are you to pronounce this? It's a little difficult. Akaradi, Akara Adi, because it starts with Akara. The first letter is Akar, A. So that's why that Akara Adi. Adi means all the other rest, 50 are there. So other than the A, then the 49 alphabets are worshipped and the deities representing them. That's why Akaradi Panchashat. Panchashat means Pancha Shata. Together Panchashat means 50. Panchashat means 50. Panchashat Varnebhyo. Varna means alphabets or letters. Varnebhyo. So Varna means plural. Fourth case, to all the Varnas, to all the letters, alphabets in Sanskrit. I offer this mantra because there each letter or alphabet Varna represents one deity. I am offering flowers to all of them. So how to pronounce it? I'll make you pronounce that particular thing because it is difficult. Akaradi. Please repeat it. Akaradi Panchashat Panchashat Varnebhyo Varnebhyo Namaha. When you join together Panchashat Varnebhyo, it becomes Panchashad Varnebhyo. So shall I teach you the whole thing? Akaradi Panchashad Varnebhyo Namaha. Together when you chant. If you break it, it will become Akaradi, Akara, Adi, Pancha, Shat, Varnebhyo Namaha. But when you together, Akaradi Pancha, Shat, Varnebhyo Namaha. So now I chant it. Please chant together or after me. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Akaradi Panchashad Varnebhyo, Akaradi Panchashad Varnebhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Akaradi Panchashad Varnebhyo Namaha. We'll go to the next deity, gods and goddesses, different gods. What is that? After it, Akaradi Panchashad, it is Om Ete Gandha Pushpe, Pratipadadi Titibhyo Namaha. Pratipat Adi Titibhyo Namaha. Pratipat Adi Titibhyo Namaha. What are these Pratipat Adi? Now we have the time, we calculate the days, it's called Tithi. Now 1 month is divided into 2 Pakshas, 15 days and 15 days, together makes 1 month. So 1 Paksha, the first one is called the Krishna Paksha, then is Shukla Paksha. What is this Krishna Paksha? The 15 days of the dark fortnight, it's called fortnight. Dark fortnight is Krishna means dark or black. So Krishna Paksha means dark fortnight. Why is it called so? Now, when we move from full moon day, Purnima, to Amavasya, new moon day, because we are moving towards darkness, new moon, from full moon, because it is moving towards darkness, it is called Krishna Paksha, 15 days. From Purnima, full moon day, to the new moon day, it is called Krishna Paksha, 15 days. And from the new moon, that is Amavasya, if we are moving the next 15 days, you can see the moon slowly appearing from complete darkness to little moon will come, then again little moon, then it will become up to the 15th day will be full moon. So from the Amavasya, that is new moon, to the full moon, another 15 days is called, because we are moving towards light, white light of the moon. So white is Shukla, in Sanskrit Shukla. So it is bright fortnight, that is dark fortnight, this is bright fortnight. Krishna Paksha, Shukla Paksha. Now recently we celebrated what you call the Bhadrapada Shukla Paksha, Chaturthi, 4th Tithi, Chaturthi. What is that? Ganesha Chaturthi. We celebrated the birthday of Ganesha on the Bhadrapada Masa, that is the month Bhadrapada. Then Shukla Paksha, that is the bright fortnight. Fourth day, that is the Chaturthyam Tithau Tithi. That is the birthday of our Ganesha. Krishna Ashtami, 8th day Krishna was born. So it is Krishna Ashtami, Krishna Ashtami. Rama was born in the 9th day, on the 9th day. So it is Rama Navami. Navaratri is the 9 days. Generally from Amavasya, Mahali Amavasya, it starts, but this time because of the leap year, from Pitrupaksha, there is a lot of time gap between Navaratri. So even then it starts from the Amavasya only. So now what is that thing called the Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha and all these things, Tithi? So in these 15 days, in this Paksha, 15 days, the first day, whether it is Krishna or Shukla, it is divided every day as Tithi. That's why you can see the Pratipat Adi Tithibhyo. Tithi means that one. In some of the languages in India, South India especially, the Tithi will be named as the one when we are doing some Shraddha or death ceremony. That is not so. Because the day, that particular day is called Tithi. It is wrongly told as the cremation ceremony. It should not be thought so. Tithi means the day, every day, particular day that in the fortnight is called Tithi. So what is the first Tithi? Either from Amavasya, that is new moon, or from the full moon in this bright fortnight, or the what do you call, the dark fortnight, it will be the same thing. So what is the first Tithi? It is Pratipat is the first Tithi, or Prathama. Pratipat or Prathama is the first Tithi. That's why it is told Pratipat Adi. All the other Tithibhyo Namaha, 15 Tithi. So what is the next one? Pratipat, it is Dvitiya. Dvitiya means second day. Tritiya is the third Tithi, third day. After Tritiya, it is Chaturthi, fourth day. Ganesha Chaturthi, fourth day. Tithi, fourth. Chaturthyam Tithau. Panchami, Panchamyam Tithau. Panchami means fifth day. Naga Panchami, fifth day. Panchami. Then after Panchami, the sixth day is Shashti. Skanda Shashti, Subramania's this thing is Shashti, sixth day. Shashti, sixth day. Tithi, sixth Tithi. Seventh day is Saptami, Sapta. In English also it is Septa. Septagon. Octagon is Ashta. Panchami is Penta. So just like that, it's very similar, you see, the numberings, because the mathematics also gone from India only. It is called Hindu-Arabic. From India, mathematics was carried to this Middle East, Arabia, and then it went to Europe, so it's called Hindu-Arabic. So the origin of mathematics is also from India only, Sanskrit. So after the Saptami, 7th days, Tithi, it is Ashtami. Ashtam is 8. So 8th day is called, 8th Tithi is called Ashtami. Then the 9th Tithi is called Navami, Rama Navami, 9th day. Then the 10th Tithi is called Dashami. Now in Navaratri, we will see all those things. So Dashami means Vijaya Dashami, on which Mother Durga fought and killed that Mahishasura. So it is celebrated as Dashami, victory day. Vijaya Dashami. So in all that month, there will be 2 fortnights, and every day, every time this Tithi will be there, 15 days. So Dashami, then 11th day is Ekadashi, on which we fast in the name of Vishnu and other things. Ekadashi, 11th day. Ekadasha, Ekadashi, 11th day. 12th day, 12th Tithi is Dvadashi, Dvadashi, 12th Tithi. Then the 13th Tithi is Trayodashi. 13th Tithi is called Trayodashi. Then the 14th Tithi is Chaturdashi, Chaturdashi. Then 15th is Panchadashi. We don't call it Panchadashi because the 15th day either will be Amavasya or Purnima. So these are the Tithis, the 15 Tithis. So that's why Om Ete Gandhapushpe Pratipat is the first Tithi. Pratipat Adi Tithibhyo Namaha. Pratipad Tithibhyo Namaha. When you divide it, it is Pratipat Adi, all other Tithibhyo Namaha. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Pratipadadi Tithibhyo Namaha. Please chant it. Om Ete Gandhapushpe Pratipadadi Tithibhyo Namaha. Pratipadadi Tithibhyo Namaha. Okay, we will stop because we have exceeded our time for today. We will continue from the next one in the next class. So we will stop our discussion today. If you have any questions on this, the live chat was there. So if there are any questions, so when we are performing puja to any god, is it mandatory that we should perform puja to sun god? So that was the last week's question. So it is not mandatory. If it is only mandatory when you are doing the Shopachar puja or still on special days. If you want, you can do it. If you have time, if you are doing Panchopachara puja, all those things will not be done. 5 item service to the Lord. If you are doing the Shopachara, if you are doing Shodashopachara, then you have to do it. So otherwise for daily worship, that is the simple worship, it is not necessary. But if you like, if you have the time, you can give it. That's well and good, you can do that. Otherwise, not necessary. So we will end our session with the prayer. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu